Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited about bringing on my next guests. Both of them have been with me now several times. I have with me Helen and Jennifer Walker. They are the owners of Walker and Walker Healthcare Advisors. Welcome back to the show. I want first for you to talk a little bit about what you do, and then I'm going to go into some questions that I have, okay? So go ahead, Jennifer.
Sure. So we are a mother and daughter duo, and we help folks with their Medicare questions, needs, answer all that fun healthcare stuff for you. We've got other team members with us too, but we're the main head honchos, if you will, that'll answer your calls and get those questions answered, especially for you guys that are turning 65 and you're not quite sure what's going on, how do I go about it, especially if you're still working. Do I have to go on Medicare? Can I stay on my employer plan? So we go through what your options are and help you make an educated decision on what you're going to do with your health care.
And what's wonderful about them is they bring two sides to the plate. Okay, Helen, you've been around for a while.
Just a day or two.
Yeah.
Plus about 20 plus years. But you know what? I think the biggest pride and joy I have with our Walker and Walker team is that we go an extra mile to help you understand what you're doing. We don't want to just get in front of you and say, this is your option, that's your options, and you're not really clear. So we go a little extra mile and to help you understand what you're really getting into. And we break it down. We break it down to kindergarten English. We try not to talk over. Yeah, most of us do. We try not to talk over your head and try to, as much as we can, put something in front of you, tangible, that you can hold on to, read about our Medicare one-on-one presentations, so you can go back and review some of the things, because you're not going to retain everything that we say. So that's what I really enjoy. We like to treat you as, we want you to understand what you're doing, not just to take our advice.
Well, I think it was the last time or time before that you were on, Jennifer, you had mentioned how, especially with people turning 65, that, it doesn't even have to be, but I know that you said that you go step by step.
Yes.
From the beginning through to the end, and you help them each step of the way with what they need to do, show them how to do it.
Yes.
I mean, it's a tutorial basically. Yeah.
It is. So we break it down, what each part of the alphabet means. What is part A? What is part B? And we explain each of those things. Part A is your hospitalization, and B is going to be your doctor's office visits. But when you're having to apply for Medicare, we'll walk you through it. We'll tell you what site to go through, what to click on, the information that's going to come, and approximately how long it's going to take to hear back from Medicare with your Medicare ID number. So we definitely walk you through that.
Well, I think that it's important for people to call, especially since it is a free service, right?
Yes.
It's not a service that you have to pay for. And a lot of people think that that is almost like too good to be true. So tell them how you get paid. I don't normally talk about this kind of thing,
Sure.
but I think this is important.
I think the most important thing I want you to know, because people do shy away from picking up that phone and making a call because they think they're making themselves obligated to us.
Mm-hmm.
No, you are not obligated to us. How we capture you is that we hope that you are so impressed with what we share with you that you would like to use us. But no money comes from you. If we help you to enroll in any healthcare plan, then that insurance carrier pays us our fee for helping you, because they don't have the staff to help you. So hence, that's the reason we have a job.
Now, I want to get out some of your information. When you work with people, you say that you are statewide.
Yes.
And again, no
fee.
No fee whatsoever, and no obligation as well. Their phone number is 602-750-0620. It's Walker Healthcare Advisors with an E.com. And, we've been here many times when you've been sitting here, and even as you're sitting here, you've actually
Yes.
gotten some, a couple calls out of people coming, and a lot of people think that Medicare is like, okay, that's October. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It happens to be almost any day, right?
It
Because
can be.
people have a lot of questions,
Yes.
right? And how do you work with people? Again, obviously you just told me a story of somebody that before you came on, you were telling me about the woman, I think she broke her leg.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean,
yes.
now she's got a ton of questions. What do I do? What's gonna happen to me? Blah, 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 right? Go ahead.
Sure. So, first of all, we're available 24/7 around the year. And what most of you are accustomed to are our enrollment periods. And that's when you can make your changes. But, we have carriers that are making changes throughout the year. So some of you have received in the last few months notices about losing your primary care doctors, and some of you don't have an agent to go to ask the questions. You're more than welcome to give us a call. Once again, no obligation. We're not going to flip you away or whatever. We're going to assist you in helping guide you on what you need to do. The other thing we like to impress on you is while you're traveling, this is our time for traveling, visiting the grandkids or whatever, your other friends and families, and things happen. So recently I had a couple that was traveling, and he broke his hip. And they were in another state, far away from home, and they were given bad advice on the health care plan they had. They were in another state, they had no idea what Arizona did, and people tend to listen to the wrong people. So I strongly suggest, if you really don't have an agent, and they did, and they called me, you can always, on the back of your health care card, wherever you are and you're not clear on understanding what your coverage does for you, please give your customer service people a call so they can lead you and guide you in the right direction, and quit listening to that healthcare professional that just knows everything and tells you how crap your plan is, because it doesn't do. You have options. Medicare is I don't care what plan you're on, will cover you anywhere in the United States. You just need to understand your coverage. Call your carrier.
Or call them.
Yes.
And there's no obligation, but you just might find after working with them that you absolutely love it, because the way that they work with you is different than other people. And everyone's different, and everybody
Yes.
resonates with somebody different, you know?
Yes.
And so their phone number again at 602-750-0620. It is Walker Health Care Advisors with an E.com. I also want to talk a little bit about, for the people that are turning 65, which you talked a little bit about that before. What do they do? When is the best time for them to call? Because they have no idea. A lot of people, I think, they think it just happens automatically. They're going to get this card in the mail, and everyone's going to go on. Some magical person's going to go online for you and set it all up, and boom, you're fine. No, it doesn't work like that.
It does not work like that,
Of
even though it
course not.
sounds great. The best time to call is about 3 to 6 months, no more than 6 months, but 3 months is a sweet spot before you turn 65, before your 65th birthday month. Give that call, we'll walk you through it. Especially nowadays, everybody's working longer than 65. I shouldn't say everybody, but there's a lot larger number of folks. So understanding what you need to do is very helpful. So give us that 3 months, 6 months at the max, and we'll go through those different steps that it's gonna take and give you ideas so you know what plan you're gonna be looking for when the time does come.
Now, just because you have coverage at your place of business, and you're lucky if they offer that, I'm so happy for you, because not everybody gets that.
Correct.
But if you do, and you're wondering, what do I do? They're perfect people to call, because let me tell you something, sometimes it's better to go on to Medicare than it is to stay on the plan that you are have been allocated at work, right?
Very true.
So you don't know until, I always say this, you don't know what you don't know. So it's a no obligation consultation that they will talk to you, find out where you're at, what you need, and what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
right? So the first thing you should do is give them a call, especially if you are turning 65 and within the, let's say 3 months, 6 months at the latest, but 3 months is the sweet spot. Call and have them help you, because it doesn't just happen automatically. And I'm sure that a lot of people that are turning that age, and I think people started thinking I was 65 about when I was 40, and I'm getting this stuff in the mail. Don't look at the stuff in the mail. Call them. It's no obligation. It's 602-750-0620. It's Walker Healthcare Advisors with an E.com.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So anything else besides the 65 that you would like to talk about before we're in the session?
Trying to think of the things that have come up as of late. We had some folks that got that letter about their doctors. So that's
And
been,
also this leaving your employer plan, make a distinction between that, because you got a lot of people not turning 65, but they are leaving their employer plan.
Mhm.
They don't put it together, we do, but they don't.
and yeah, because it really is true. Sometimes they'll stay on their employer plan and now they're gonna retire, but they're past 65
Yeah,
and they don't know
what to do.
what to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have to explain that. I didn't understand that at all.
Okay.
Well, that's what she was
So
pointing out.
now
She's like,
you're
you said.
70, you're
Mhm.
70 and you wanna retire, and you've never picked up Medicare, and you don't know what to do. So even though we say turning 65, people say, well, I'm 70 and about to
Oh,
retire,
that's
so
a
we
good
just
idea.
need to point that
Yeah.
out.
That's now I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
But I talked in a way that she was like, you're saying it, but they don't realize it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
just when you're turning 65 too.
Yeah,
She's right.
I shouldn't say it that way.
Well, it was me, not you.
But no, that's what I wrote down.
We're very literal. Seniors are very literal. We heard what
Oh
you said.
gosh, yeah. Okay, so that's something also to talk about. Anything else that you want me to get out there? Talking to your neighbors or your friends about what to get.
Yeah. Everybody's needs are different.
Mm-hmm.
Or talking to that person that's out of state that thinks they know what they're
And
talking
they never-
about.
And they didn't. They gave my customers some really horrible advice. Told them they were on a horrible plan, and I mean they didn't know what to do. And I'm like, your plan is just fine. But thank God they had sense enough to call me. But they never think about calling on the back of that card. That card is priceless. Call us.
Yeah. But I think it's but seniors, they like talking to somebody that's, especially if they worked with you, now they think they have this relationship
Yes.
with
Yeah.
you. Now they think that you're their best friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else?
Wait a minute, I'll
I'm
be
sorry.
right there.
I was just saying, I was trying to think of something else for you too.
Oh.
I was like, anything else happened lately that we
Well,
want to
hold
talk
on
about?
tight. We have a minute here.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that what we have here, I mean, maybe, I think out of this, we'll be able to reiterate some of the different things too.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, how VA works along with you can talk about that. Oh, you don't want to talk about, okay. Being on VA and Medicare.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about Medicare, and we're talking at the break, we've been talking a little bit about different things. For instance, we were saying how people that are turning 65 and still working or getting ready to retire, and you said, well, there's a lot of people who wait till they're 70 before they're gonna retire, and they don't know what to do, right? That's even a harder spot to be in, because now I've been working longer, right?
Yeah, right.
When do I take my Medicare, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
Yep. So
I'm gonna
a lot of times you are now 68, 69, 70, and you're getting tired of your employer. Maybe your employer is getting tired of you. And you're wondering, when do I break away? So once again, if you did not take out Medicare when you turned 65, some didn't know they didn't have to.
and some did, and you were literally been double covered for, you know, however long you've been working since 65. But once again, if you know that you're about to retire or your firm is about to let you go and you're past 65, then again, about a 3-month interval is a good time to reach out and say, look, I plan on retiring in the next 3 months, and then we can help walk you through to get started on time. So when your employer plan ends, your Medicare will be ready to start. And we don't want you to prematurely have to pay fees for a plan you don't need until you need it.
Until you need to.
Yeah.
Now, some of the other things that you wanted to talk about was, I wanted to talk about talking to your neighbors. I always love to say this because a lot of people do. You know, seniors tend to like to talk to other seniors, especially about Medicare and Social Security and things like that. And the problem about doing some of this sometimes is you're getting, you know, they may say, I love my plan, I love my plan. Well, that might be great for them,
Correct.
but they have no idea what medications you're on because you would never tell them, you know, right? But well,
Correct.
maybe not. But, you know, they don't know that, like I said before, you don't know what you don't know. So here's now, they're going to tell you, you got to be on this plan because it's so great, I love it. Well, maybe it's not right for them.
Or just something as simple as we were sharing with you, you know, traveling and needing health care and just being given bad advice because people don't understand everybody's plan. So before you get all gun-ho about what your family or neighbor, relative is telling you about, clearly understand what your plan has. A lot of times you're listening to them because you don't even realize what you have. So my customers that were told that they had a horrible plan back in Arizona, come to find out they had the cream of the crop. Not only after I advised them to make a call, their carrier just took the bull by the horns and walked them through and handled everything on their behalf. You do have a carrier, and most of your plans are excellent plans. Very seldom does one do a lot more than the other, but you have some flexibility. So just once again, if you have an agent, certainly reach out to the agent or reach out to the carrier. You're more than welcome to give us a call and we'll help you understand what you have.
Their number is area code 602-750-0620. They work statewide, and it is a free service to you. There is no obligation to have this consultation and find out, and maybe you just might find out they know a little bit more than the other guy do, or that does happen sometimes. 602-750-0620. And the other thing too that you said that you wanted to reiterate too was one thing was about the cards, that you have a card and on the back of it, it has an 800 number or whatever that number is. They also can help if you're out of state. But I do know that most seniors, they like to talk to somebody who they know. You know, so you might just get the phone call from them when they're out of state, which is perfectly fine. They'd love it. But it's there for you if you need it. And also, we wanted to reiterate about the doctors that are no longer in network. That's a scary thing. You get this letter, and the letter says your doctor's no longer in network. You're freaking out. I can imagine.
Definitely happens,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a freak out. A lot of times you want to know what your options are and you think you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stuck. You just need to understand how the process works and what other options are out there. Sometimes you love your plan so much and that particular doctor, you like them, but you don't necessarily want to keep them, but you don't like being told what to do. So we'll talk through that process too. Is this doctor a definite keep? And if there is, there's ways to go about that. And you may have to switch your plan, but we'll talk through that too and see what else is out there that covers that particular doctor, covers your other doctors, your medications, or sometimes your primary care doctor, you see them once, maybe twice a year, but you really truly love your plan. And so we can talk about what those options look like. Does it mean hey, before this contract terminates, let me go get my physical, my annual visit in. I'll get that done, keep my plan, and then we'll look at this again come next year. But we'll look at all those different options that you have, and that way you're not just stuck on, they're gone, that's it, I don't have any options, I'm done. There's still other things that are out there for us to do for you. So we'll talk through what is best and go from there.
That's an no obligation consultation to you. It is completely free. Their service is free. And their phone number is 602-750-0620. I want to also bring up something about both of you that you bring to the plate, okay? And I want to talk about you, Jennifer, for a minute, because your side of it is that you know you've been in the healthcare industry for so long that you know exactly what that letter means the minute you open it, because
Yes.
you know all of, the coding and all that kind of stuff, and you can help people with some of the things that they don't understand, because of course, what do you think seniors do when they get a bill? Me, I just throw it in the other way, that goes in the trash or whatever. But they look at every little thing and they
Yes.
don't always understand, and they want to understand it. Go ahead.
No, and it's funny you asked that question. I just today before we left got a call from a client, they got a bill. What does this mean? Is this correct? So we talked about it. We went over the fact that they got a bill from the doctor's office doesn't mean that you owe. And then we circled back and I asked, did you get your explanation of benefits from the insurance company? Well, no, I haven't. I said, okay. So we want to wait until we get that, because it's going to show us exactly how that claim was processed, what was covered, and what your responsibility is. And sometimes you'll have the doctor's office, they'll bill the insurance company, but at the same time they bill you too. And they don't tell you that. They don't tell you, oh, wait, we're just letting you know what we're billing, and you think you really owe that. And sometimes I have clients, or we hear people that they panic when they get that bill and they just pay it.
Oh,
They don't wait, they just pay it. And I'm here to tell you, as fast as you paid that provider, they're not going to return your money nearly as fast as you paid them.
I bet.
So take a pause. If it doesn't look right, sound right, that doesn't mean to pay it. And if you're not sure, call me and we'll talk about what that bill looks like, and should you pay it, is it something that you really owe?
I'll tell you something, I hate that. Because, that's the one thing about seniors. They're very meticulous and want to,
Yes.
especially when it comes to money,
Yes.
and if they owe something, they're like, oh, I gotta
Gotta
get
pay
that out of the way. And it's very confusing, and I don't know why they do it. They do it on purpose.
Yes.
I mean, really, it's like, why do they do that? It makes it so hard for them. But what's wonderful is that we have people like Jennifer and like Helen that can help you, and it's no obligation. You just give them a call and they'll talk to you and walk you through the step by step, so that you truly understand it. That's important for seniors.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
they don't, they don't like it.
And she got panicked because it was one of those, she's been out of town for a few weeks. So it was a, air quote, final notice.
Oh gosh.
So there was true panic. And so after we talked, she was much more calm and realized it was something ultimately that she really didn't owe, and was just had to educate the doctor's office too.
Yeah, well, we should be educating them as well, right? The main thing is that you want to make sure that you do understand whether you're turning 65, whether or not you are someone who travels and things happen when you're on vacation, whether you just have questions about your your prescription drugs. They're here to help you. It is a no obligation consultation with them, and they're here to help in any way they can. Their phone number is 602-750-0620. They work statewide. It's Walker Healthcare Advisors with an E.com.
Thank you.
We'll wait till they